Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. I'd like to share with you a new arrival to our shop. This is a 1963 Corvette Split Window. We're not going to do a complete ground-up restoration on this car. We're known for our ground-up rotisserie restorations, but we also will do stuff like this, which we have our client who's already gutted or dismantled the car. He wants us to do the body repair and the paint work. He's going to do the mechanical and the reassembly. So we have a special dolly that we've made for Corvette bodies. So we'll be lifting the body off. He went ahead and it was a driver car. He's had it for many years in the family. And he drove it up until this summer, and then he's pulled all the glass and interior and so on out of it. There's quite a few issues with the body, so we're going to figure out what's all going on with it. So basically, everybody knows, or most people know, this is a one-year only style, so 63 split window. It was originally a red car, and the front nose had quite a bit of work done. It's had quite a few different paint jobs over the years. It's kind of probably looks nicer in the video that you're seeing than it does in real life, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but the paint's quite nasty. It's had numerous layers of paint over top of lacquer over the years. There's a lot of dirt and cracking and just not very nice bodywork, but probably hard to pick up in the camera with the lighting. So as we come down up the passenger side, you can see where he's removed all of the trim, all of the glass, and then when you look a little bit closer, you can see some of the body jobs or some of the paint jobs were done with all the trim on. So you can see, you know, the color underneath where the door handle and door lock was. You can see some runs in the paint and some chipping and bubbling. So there's different products or different paints on it. You can see there's some bubbling here, so something's reacting underneath, which I'm assuming is the old original lacquer. And then on the roof line, there's a split or a crack somewhere along here where it's, oh sorry, over there. When we get to the driver's side, I'll share with you. So basically, we've got a lot of cracking, we've got a lot of shifting. It's very common in certain areas. The front nose, it appears, and we'll share with you once we start taking the paint off, the length of the car, when the trim is on, the length of the car is actually a hair bit shorter in between. So I think something when they grafted the front nose, I'm not sure if they have it in the exact location, and everything seems to be tilted a little bit at the front end, which is quite common on Corvettes when they do repairs. I think the camera person can probably follow along. Inside, it's hard on this side, but the passenger side, you can see where everything is cracked and split, and there's rot in behind. So everything is pulling away in the post area and around the structure. It's probably easier to see it on the opposite side. So we're standing at the passenger side of the car. When you look at the driver's side, where the windshield post meets the front cowl dash area. So all in here, you can see where there's a lot of cracking, there's a lot of pulling away, and we can stick our pen through there. There's a lot of rust and stuff going on, and it looks like there's some type of mouse been living down in there. So we've got cracking all the way up, and it's all the way up into here, and it's pulling away. There's quite a bit of structural integrity that's gone now, and then same thing along the header. There's a lot of stuff going on there, so we'll deal with that as we go along. This is just a rough visual. It was just unloaded off the trailer last night, brought into the shop. The hood's going to come back. The hood didn't come with the car. The headlight pots are still in it, and then once again you can see you know, where it's been painted probably a couple of different times with all the emblems left on. So the last paint job was base clear, kind of a hard clear there, and I'm just not sure how good of a quality that last job was, but it's shiny, and being a driver works out quite well. There's lots going on in this front. The camera's probably not going to be able to pick it up, but the spacing between this front fender and that outside edge of the tire is substantial compared to the passenger side. So we'll figure out what's going on. There's a lot of repair work, and it's really thick in here. So I'm assuming there's probably fiberglass
repair on top of fiberglass, which is bringing this whole thing out because it's extremely hard and very, very thick. Now what I've done is I've just started doing a couple of little test areas, and this is kind of important. So what we like to do, I always like to start here on the quarter panel, and to get an idea of how many layers of paint and has it ever been stripped down properly to original. This is your bonding strip from the factory. So this whitish color, that is your actual fiberglass, and that's the original fiberglass. This is a bonding strip where the factory attaches this to this lower quarter panel, and that's the factory strip. Whenever we're doing Corvettes, that's what we try to find, is this this bonding strip. If it's had a repair or an accident done to this quarter panel, you would not see that because it would be repaired. And here's a perfect example. Going from here, we skip over to the front fender. The bonding strip is not there, it's gone. So it's got several layers of paint and primers and body fillers that we've removed, and now we have this fiberglass matting. You can see the crisscross mesh pattern, and this darker green is the resin that they used to do the repair. So we know obviously this is not close to original because there's no bonding strip, and we don't have this light colored fiberglass. We have this darker, newer resin, and it's extremely hard as compared to the factory stuff. So basically we just took a quick visual on the car. Should see if I can open this door to show you a lot of the cracking. Sorry, I should have had this ready. So some things that we really have to be concerned with or watch for, and it's all of this cracking that's happening here, and it's pulling away here. So there's something really wrong in my opinion, because this section is supposed to be structure, and it's actually split. It's cracked open, and you can see it's tapered back. So I'm not sure. It kind of looks like it's an improper repair. Something's happened, and this is shifted or moved even further away. And then we come up here where the roof line is matching the body from this side. You can see this whole section is split open, and it's actually literally pulling away. And then same thing up here. You can see where they've got a poor repair of fiberglass done. There's Bondo on top, and it's cracked, and it's also separating or pulling away. So we'll have to, dig a little bit further, kind of thing. We have to be very gentle. We got to be very careful. A lot of people, when they talk about working on Corvettes and they want to strip it down and they go all gangbusters, some guys like to use very strong chemicals, and they'll brush on a paint stripper and wait till it bubbles up and they scrape it. It's extremely sloppy. It's highly toxic. It does affect the fiberglass and also the resins and also the bonding strips. So my personal opinion, I'm not a Corvette expert, but we've done several of them over the years. I definitely stay away from anything that's a chemical stripper, a quick fix, a fast let's get the paint off kind of stuff, because there's always a residual after, and then you're chasing or fighting a really bad chemical that's hurting the natural fiberglass and resins and glues that the factory used, especially in this car being a 63. So what we're going to do, it's a lot of work. We have to be very careful, and you can see we've probably got, I lost count at 14. It looks like roughly 14 or 16 different layers of product on top of the original fiberglass. You can't see it in the video, but when I run my hand from here across all of these other ridges, I've probably got about 8 mil to 10 mil more product on this. So it's just basically someone's done a quick sand and they've painted over top, and then another sand and a paint on top, and there's very little primer in between. So there's had a lot of, and being red and oxidizing, I can see where over the years they've wanted to paint it. So it'll be a nice car. So we'll once we're done our little test sections, then we'll remove all of this nasty product, because we have a base coat, clear coat finish, which is newer, that's on top of single stage, and then single stage is on top of the original lacquer paint. Those of you who watched our previous videos, any product that you put on top of lacquer paint is going to react and doesn't want to be there. And here's an example up here. unless it's body flex, which is a weird spot to be a body flex, I believe this little slit and bubble is a perfect example of the lacquer trying to push or separate through. It doesn't like what's on top of it, and it's literally created a split in this area. I think the camera can probably pick it up. So you normally get a lot of bubbling, you'll get a shrinkage, and then you'll get some of these splits. So to do this Corvette properly, we need to do what we're doing right here. We need to sand it back down to the original fiberglass. It's going to expose poor or improperly repaired sections, and then we'll deal with those sections, and then from there we start with the newer product, the newer two-part epoxies, newer primers, and then the correct base clear, which won't react in time. So just an introductory, this is a 1963 Corvette split window coupe. I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.